All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If I could have the students lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Kristen Cambenzi,
Here.
Jennifer Ray,
Here.
Jason Zadunik,
Here.
Jennifer Cliff,
Here.
Cheryl Maddox Smith,
Here.
Cassidy Thomas, Eric Smith,
Here.
All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Zadinek. Oh, sorry, I haven't caught my breath yet. And seconded by Mrs. Cliff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Cambenzi. I'm going to let Mr. Lampman introduce our guest.
Thank you, Mr. Sedgwick. On the agenda tonight, we have the audit presentation for our 24-25 fiscal year that ended June 30th, 2025. Tonight we have with us Mr. Mike Brentz, partner with Anderson Tackman and Company, to present the results of the audit. Mr. Brentz, if you take the podium, please.
If you have questions, ask. I'll keep this nice and long since there's not much on the agenda and we all want to stay here in the nice warm.
Hey, that's my joke.
But I'll do a short presentation, but if there's anything anybody wants to discuss, we can go into it. Page 4 is the opinion. So you have an unmodified opinion. You've applied with all the generally accepted accounting principles. It says they're your statements, not ours, and we take a sampling of transactions. We don't look at every transaction. I'm going to hit it here. Usually, we also present the single audit, where we test compliance with federal awards. However, they did not issue that until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So the state gave a reprieve of 30 days after the compliance supplement is due. The single audit will be done, which is Christmas Day. So we're in the process of actually doing your single audit on that compliance testing right now. But from what we've done so far, I don't think we're going to have any issues with that and wrapping that up.
And if I could interrupt one moment, Mike, my understanding is the compliance supplement usually comes out in March each year, which is the guidance that the auditors follow for auditing those annual federal awards.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
they were very delayed this year in issuing that. Looking at page 17, when you roll the school up in totality, this is probably the first time since all the retirement benefits have been added, liabilities been added, you actually have a positive net position of $1.6 million, which is fantastic to see. Your unrestricted is still in a deficit of 23.4 million, but if you kind of come up the page, your net pension liability is 27 million, and you actually have a OPEB retiree health insurance benefit of 6.4 or 8.4 million. So the state's been kind of focusing on trying to get one of those funded, and now that that's fully funded, I'm thinking they're going to start pushing some more money to the retiree side. But it's fantastic to see, and we'll see if we can keep that going. Looking at page 18, when you roll it all up together, the school had an increase of 11.6 million to the bottom line. For those that are interested, you'll see that number on the bottom of page 22. And then there's all these different adjustments that we do to come to the top of the page of a net gain of 890,000, which you can follow back to page 21 which is, this is what Jim's presenting to you normally, and these are the statements you're used to seeing. So the general fund added 1.2 million to the bottom line. The capital projects fund had 240 added to the bottom line, and then all the other funds had a loss of just under 600,000. The big thing always is with the general fund, you know, how did that work out? And when you look at your budget on page 66, your original budget, your final budget, you were predicting a $16,000 gain. You came in at 1.2 million. Where are the big things that influenced that? Most of it was expenses coming in under budget. So, and it's pretty much across the board for the most part. So it's good to see that where you're not overspending what your budget is, it came in better. And the way things are with school funding, as we all know, you really don't know your revenue pot until the end of the year. So you're kind of shooting at the dark until that revenue conference comes in every year in May. So looking at that, I'm happy to see the general fund's doing well. I think you have a healthy fund balance in there to see what the unpredictable state of education is going to be for funding coming up. It's going to be interesting how it, now that all the past COVID and all that's done and what they're doing at the federal level with the Department of Ed, what changes are going to happen. Will be interesting. That's the short version. We can go into more detail if anybody wants. I have all night.
I guess your letter dated October 31st, 2025 is, I mean, a lot of that, I'm assuming is quite a bit of boilerplate language, but
Yeah.
as far as internal, and I know that internal controls are mentioned in here, can you just describe or provide any additional clarification, your role in the internal controls and what's reviewed and not reviewed? And if you did review any internal controls, any thoughts on
So
changes?
what we do with regarding internal controls is, as part of the audit when we do our testing, is we see what controls you have in place and then turn around and take a sampling and test those controls to see if they're working as you have in your policies. And we didn't have any problems with that in the current year.
So just sort of a, I don't know, 25,000 foot view. We're in good shape.
Yes,
We're doing okay.
we're doing okay.
These guys down here have done what they need to
They're
do.
doing what they need to do and you're in the black, so that's always good to see.
It's great.
Does the bond that the district is considering, do you have any thoughts on whether that will impact future financial statements?
It will, so let's just make life simple and say you get all the bond money and spend it all in 1 year. You'll see the revenue come in for the bonds and the money go out for the bonds all in 1 year. Then what you're gonna see after that is you're gonna see expense that you're gonna have to cover for the bond interest and principal payments over that time frame from a cash flow perspective. So you're gonna have to come up with the money to pay for that. If it's with a debt millage, then you're gonna have revenue coming in that'll offset those bond payments in a simple one-for-one relationship. Where you're gonna see some weirdness, for lack of a better term, is in the beginning of the project, depending on how the bond is set up, is a lot of times what will happen is you'll get all the bond money in year one, but you won't spend it all. So it will look like in year one, because it'll be a 1 to 2 year expense on the project. So you'll see this big increase in fund balance, and everybody will say, oh, look, we have all this money, but most of that is gonna be all restricted to paying for the costs in the next year. So then the following year, you're gonna see a big drop in fund balance and net income for the year as you're using that money up.
Realistically, there's just no way that if the bond passes, that's all gonna get spent in the first 12 months of it. I mean, it seems like 2 years would even be a little aggressive. Is that correct?
That is correct. It would be a multi-year project.
I would think so.
And you know, currently we're looking at breaking that into 2 different bond series, so about 30 million each. So we would draw down the 30 million, spend that over a couple of years, draw down the next series of bonds, and spend that down over a couple of years. And to what Mr. Grentz had said about future bond payments, if you turn to page 69 in the audit report, you can see for our existing bond what that looks like. So on page 69, there's a center column called Debt Service 2016 Debt Retirement Fund. And you can see that there was $612,000 that came in from local sources. That is the millage, the 0.38 mils levied for the 2016 Debt Retirement Fund bond. And then you can see the principal and interest payments on that bond as well. So after the bond is drawn down and after those proceeds have been expended, this is what it would look like moving forward. We'd have revenue coming in from taxes that would then cover the principal and interest payments of the bond.
Also, I don't know if this is a you question or a Mr. Landman question. Page 64, looking at the OPEB liabilities, that's gone up from 105% in 2023 to 143% in 2024. 2025 isn't included, I understand. Do we have any idea where the 2025 is going to come in? Is that going to, you know, that's pretty significant for increases. Is that?
The state's working on that now. That they figure that out every September with the state's year end. So my guess it's gonna probably start plateauing because there's a benefit out there now that it'll probably stay around that 8 million if I had to guess. But not 100% sure because that's all, you get all that from the state of Michigan. Because
Yeah.
everybody's in one big pot.
Yeah, they actually have an actuarial firm that calculates what these pension liability numbers are. And there's a number of factors that go into it. Age of the number of participants in the plan, the age of those participants, the investment returns that are being seen. There's just a huge number of factors that the actuaries take, and they crunch those numbers to generate what we then use for reporting purposes.
I appreciate that. It just seems almost like an arbitrary, I know it's not, but it just.
Well, I wouldn't say that to an actuary.
Correct, but it
Yeah.
just, it
But-
just seems like a hard number to track.
Yeah,
It is, and because you're in a state plan, all the schools are in it together. That if you had your own individual plan, there's a whole different set of footnotes that go with it, and you can actually see how the investments are doing and how the liabilities are doing and trace that all in. Here, we get this stuff from the state and they kind of just say, here's the school's number. And we do a little testing on that to make it, yes, it appears to be in the ballpark, but they do all the heavy lifting on that.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of great questions though this evening. Does anyone have any other questions?
Do you have an overall summary? I mean, everything from your perspective, Mr. Lampman? I mean, everything good? No concerns?
I think I was pleased with the results of the audit this year. Again, as Mr. Grentz mentioned, we still have one component of the audit left to finish, and that's the audit on the federal expenditures that we had. And again, the only reason that isn't complete and why the state extended that is because the compliance supplement was not available for the auditors to do their testing. So we will get that wrapped up as soon as we can. In
By
fact, I believe
Christmas.
well, yeah, I believe there's going to be some testing this week, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, occurring. But no, I mean, it was a good audit report. As far as our budget to actual numbers, we have to adopt our final budget prior to us having the year end closed out. So we're making, you know, in some cases, educated guesses and predictions about where our final expenditures will come in, and we tend to be a little bit conservative in those estimations. So we were within, on the expense side, within about 2% of budget, which when we're pushing a $50 million budget, I think is pretty good. And on the revenue side, we were even closer. We were about 0.33% within our final budget. So, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into this. There's a whole team of people that contributed. It goes well beyond myself, and I, for the record, want to thank all those people that work hard to pull this off. But yeah, we're continuing to grow our fund balance, which again, you've heard me say it before. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know how long that's going to continue. I don't know how long the state is going to fund education in a kindly manner. So we'll see what the future brings. But as of right now, we are sitting in a good financial position.
Does our acceptance of the audit depend on the completion of that second portion, or does it have to be done in two separate actions?
So you could approve tonight, and I believe it's later in the agenda, to accept the financial piece of the audit, and then we can bring back the federal compliance portion at a later date. And the audit is due each year to the state of Michigan by November 1st. So this has already been audited and submitted to the state. So you're just formally accepting the audit report this evening.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Grentz.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to move on to facilities planning. Just a brief update, or probably more of a synopsis of where we're at with respect to our preliminary qualification bond application with the Michigan Treasury, which we talked about at our last board meeting on November 17th, at which point we also presented the scope, which the board approved. So again, at that November 17th board meeting, the board approved the scope of a $59.995 million bond proposal. And since that meeting, a group of our facilities planning team, myself, Mr. Lampman, our legal counsel, financial advisor, architect, etc., met with the Michigan Treasury to review our application. That was on December 1st. And then tonight, the board will be considering that PQ application, which is included in your packet in its entirety if you'd like to see it. Next step after tonight would be for the board to consider scheduling calling a resolution to call the election for the May 5th, 2026 ballot. That'll happen on January 12th. And just a review, the scope, the proposal is very much community driven. The $59.995 million proposal came directly from the survey results, and that focus on safety, infrastructure, and programming, which I've talked about, along with the fact that every building, every student is impacted. Net increase, the plan is estimated to result in a 1.55 mil increase over the current levy, which is still below the regional and state average. So, again, that bond proposal PQ application is included in your packet in its entirety. That would be one of the action items under new business for this evening, to approve that PQ application. Upon approval, we will be asking Mr. Zadunik to sign, hopefully tonight, so that we can send it to our legal counsel first thing tomorrow morning. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to approving the consent agenda, which includes the minutes of the regular board meeting of November 17th, 2025, minutes of the special meeting of December 3rd, 2025, minutes of the closed session of December 3rd, 2025, the personnel report dated December 2025, the financial reports of November 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as, the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Okay, motion made by Mrs. Clip, support by Mrs. Maddox Smith. All those in favor? Aye. Moving on to the student school board representatives report.
Okay, so starting off with academics. Academics are in full swing as we prepare for the end of the semester. Winter break will begin at 2:23 on December 19th, and school will resume on January 5th. And then a couple weeks after that, January 20th through the 23rd, are exams. And after this exam period, our first semester will be over. For athletics, boys basketball won their first game in Gladstone on Thursday, but they lost in their home opener against Coopersville on Friday. Both the girls and boys varsity basketball teams will play Negaunee at home tomorrow. Boys hockey won against the Sioux on Friday and lost on Saturday. They'll play Lake Orion this weekend on Friday and Saturday at home. Upcoming this week, the varsity swim and dive team will compete at Westwood tomorrow. Boys and girls basketball, skiing, and wrestling will be traveling to compete this weekend, and then varsity swim and dive and the girls gymnastics team will be competing at home.
And then a little update on our arts. There is actually a choir concert happening tonight at Kaufman. And then there was a band and orchestra concert last week, and they both were wonderful. Some updates on student council projects. Student council recently worked with Mr. Hoffman's advisory program to collect donations for this year's TV6 Canathon. And as a school, MSHS collected 4,039 items, and we were recognized today as the Marquette Community winner. Tomorrow's doubleheader basketball game against Negaunee will be a fundraiser for the Rock the Socks event, and anyone who brings a donation of new socks will earn free admissions to the games. And Student Council is excited to have a holiday-themed Spirit Week, December 15th through 19th, leading up to winter break. And then on that final Friday, December 19th, we will do our annual hot chocolate, where in the mornings we have hot chocolate stationed throughout the building, and we welcome kids as they enter the building that morning with hot chocolate and songs. And then there will also be a short assembly that Friday that usually includes like fun relay races and is just a fun send-off to winter break. And then that first week back to school, January 5th through 9th, is actually winter homecoming. This will also be a Spirit Week with dress-up days and a doubleheader basketball game Friday the 9th to close out the week.
Very nice, thank you. Comments from the public? No, nothing? Moving on to new business. I would entertain a motion to accept the 2024-2025 audit report by Anderson Tackman Company PLC.
I'll move that we accept the audit report as presented.
Support.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Smith, support by Mrs. Maddox Smith. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. And I would entertain a motion to approve the certificate and application for the preliminary qualification of bonds.
I'll make a motion to approve the certificate and application for preliminary qualifications of bonds.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Ray, support by Ms. Thomas. Do we have any further comments or questions regarding this? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Consider the 2025-2026 MAPS hourly and daily services rates effective 1/26/26.
Just a little bit on that, we have added a planetarium tech position, much like the Kaufman tech position that's been in existence for a long time. We've been discussing internally how to provide the appropriate support for that program and space, and thought the tech position would be the best way to move forward.
Approximately how many hours is that tech going to be working? Similar to the Kaufman tech, or is it?
That's a really good question. I would have to get back to you on that. I think this time of year, there's probably quite a few hours available for that tech position. It's not necessarily a new position. We're codifying the fact that we have people working in that capacity and making sure the rate aligns with other tech positions. But as far as the number of events, the planetarium has only been open for a couple months since the renovation, so this is a kind of a work in progress. I expect or predict that there could be more usage of the planetarium with the new technology than there has been in the past, but to compare it to Kaufman is probably appropriate, since Kaufman is often seasonal, and I suspect the planetarium may be as well.
Right, do we have like a cap or anything that we're looking at for that? Or
Well, it's
we'll just wait and
not
see?
necessarily, but it's the more money in, the more money out. It isn't a big money maker, the planetarium, much like other programs and spaces that we have. It's a space that we utilize not only for our students, but for our community. And there's not going to be a loss to the district. So I don't know that the bottom line is going to impact us per se, since the planetarium manages itself, if you will, with tickets being the main source of revenue to pay for the expenses mostly of staffing.
Just out of curiosity, are these positions, are individuals eligible for benefits, or are these like 1099?
These are non-affiliated, so no, there are no benefits associated with these positions.
Great.
Okay, any further comments or questions? Oh, so I'd entertain a motion to consider adopting the rates.
Make a motion to adopt the 2025-2026 MAPS hourly and daily service rates effective January 26th of 2026.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Zednick, support by Mrs. Cliff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Adopt a biannual evaluation schedule for Superintendent Sedgwick's performance.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge the following, that the Superintendent Sedgwick's performance ratings of effective or highly effective on the 3 most recent consecutive annual evaluations, and that the successful completion of the required mid-year progress report for the current cycle, wherein the board confirmed Superintendent Sedgwick met all established performance goals for the remainder of the year. And then adopt a biannual evaluation schedule in accordance with Michigan compiled laws for Superintendent Sedgwick's performance, commencing with the 2025-26 evaluation cycle.
Second.
All right, motion made by Ms. Ray, support by Mrs. Maddox Smith. Do we have any further comments or questions regarding this?
I'm sorry, can you?
Set that up.
It's in your packet. If you get,
It is.
if the superintendent is rated as effective or highly effective on the 3 most recent evaluations, then the new law states that you can evaluate me biannually.
Right. So that's why we're not doing it this year and we're waiting till next year.
Yeah, so he's had a highly
Yeah, not twice a year, that's
highly
what,
effective or effective the past 3 years, so we can skip this year for an evaluation.
to be clear, biannual meaning every other year, not twice a year.
Yeah.
Correct, and it's probably worth noting that I'm sorry, the board did conduct a mid-year progress report, and that is included in your packet, so there was pretty robust discussion considering that mid-year progress report on all the goals stated from the previous evaluation.
Okay, so from the calendar perspective, that means that, okay, you did the progress report 6 months ago. Yeah? I'm working the math out? Okay. So then your next formal evaluation, would it still be, there would be a biannual in approximately May, June 2026, and then a formalized concluding one November, December
This
2026?
time next year, yes.
Got it, okay, thank you.
So the last, and I'm sorry, just to be clear, so the last evaluation was confirmed on March of this year? Is that? Okay. I can't remember, I know it seems like it's been a while since we did your last one. So your last eval, without, I'd have to go back. So it was a year ago, so the next one would be due
This one
next
next year,
December,
yes.
so about a year-ish. And then that process starts, if memory serves, a month or two.
September, October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that's a great question. So then next year, we're getting in the weeds here, but I am really curious about this from a teacher perspective too. So next year when we do this, do you have to do 3 in a row again? Like, how does that start? Does the cycle start?
No, it's you're adopting
Okay,
the
so as
every other
long
year
as-
schedule.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
As long as he keeps getting effective, then we can keep the every.
The every other year. It's not
But
like
like-
then you have to do 3 years in a row and then
If
do
for
it
some
again.
reason he got below effective, then we'd have to do every year.
Mhm.
So, okay.
I mean, if we decide to do an annual, even if it's an effective, is that, I mean, are we able to make,
Yeah, and
Change.
we could do this every year if we want to.
okay.
It's just, we decided that after having the 3 highly effective, that this year we would forego doing the formal evaluation, and also since we just did the mid-year. And I believe state law, don't we have to do the mid-year evaluation every year anyway?
I'm not sure if we have to, but I don't think there's any reason the board wouldn't be able to.
Okay. So,
So it's not like we're just like, whew, we don't want to do this. By state law, you meet the criteria.
Correct.
And, okay, and one final question. Is highly effective even an option anymore for superintendents?
No.
It's not for teachers. We're just
It's not.
effective.
no, but when it was,
Yeah, yeah, he met the criteria. I know, I'm just curious about the process. Thanks.
So if we move forward with this, the next time we go through the evaluation process for Mr. Sedgwick would be ish in the fall of next year.
2026.
Okay, thank you. Sorry to talk about you like you're not there.
Students, any questions?
Actually, we were both wondering, what does like the progress report or evaluation like consist of, and how is it conducted? Like, who, what is that?
So
Oh,
the board, we actually
Good question.
have it in here somewhere. So we did a mid-year progress report. And so he had, 3 different goals that we focused on, and it's amongst the board. And so we have certain goals that we have set for the superintendent, and we have a conversation about the different goals, what he's done to meet the goals, and if there's any tweaks that we need to do to, kind of help him be successful, help the district be successful. So like one of the goals, for example, was increase collaboration between the Board of Education members and the superintendent. And so then he had some supporting materials as to how we met those goals, or if it's a work in progress. And so those are the types of things that we do to evaluate the superintendent.
So, just so we're all clear, it's not like we're making this up, like, what 10 things do we want to see from him? The state of Michigan lays that out, so every single superintendent, I don't know, when you look at all the components, there's probably like 54 of them, it's a rubric. So when your teachers are like, here's what the rubric's gonna look like for this assignment, he has a rubric as well, and we rate all those different components, but we're not just like, well, if he learns to juggle this year, he is for sure gonna be highly effective. It's all laid out by the state of Michigan.
Yeah, and the actual evaluation process, like the end of the year one that we do, it's a pretty robust document, and we sit down as a group and kind of collaborate and kind of come to consensus on the different items in it, to rate the superintendent.
And he's present as we do that, so.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Are you going to object, students, to this? I mean,
Well,
Next,
poor guy.
next thing that counts,
But-
initiative.
But it kind of builds a lot of communication back and forth too, on kind of where the successes are and things are going really well, and where can we, as a board, but also for the superintendent, what can be done better, kind of thing. So it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
Give it to him.
Okay. All right, so I would entertain a motion to adopt the biannual evaluation schedule for Superintendent Sedgwick's performance. Oh, you
I already
you
did
it.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
And there was a support, so.
Who supported it?
Mrs. Maddox.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's right. I forgot to write it down. Okay, so we have motion and support. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
No pause. Just for a quick, do we need to put a date on this motion at all? It just says the evaluation cycle. Is that laid out somewhere as far as dates to formalize that, or is that,
I don't think.
we're good?
In the motion, yeah, she stated in the motion that it began the 2025-2026 school year.
Cycle, okay.
School year. Yeah.
I just didn't know if it needed to get into the month or anything like that, so, okay, thank you.
Okay. So we'll move on to board member comments, but students, do you have anything you'd like to leave us with? No? Okay. All right, Mr. Smith?
Have a couple of items. Talking about the evaluation, one only has to look at this bond proposal that we're moving forward with to see why our superintendent is so effective. There are so many things that go into that. We could be here for a couple more hours and talk about how this has come about. But one of the critical items associated with this proposal has been the transparency and the communication with the public. The information that's available is all going to factor into hopefully, the public's acceptance and support of this really important initiative that the district is moving ahead with. And all I can say is our superintendent and the team that he's put together, because we all recognize this is not a solo effort, it's nothing short of amazing. And the public should feel confident and very secure, I think, in knowing that no stone has been left unturned, and that we're going to have an amazing facility, hopefully, when we finish and come to the end of the road with this. I wanted to make a brief comment about the planetarium tech. All the comments are really correct about the revenues that come in. There's a combination of funding sources that are making this facility really a one of a kind. And if you haven't yet, or if the public hasn't had a chance yet to visit the planetarium and participate in a program, you need to do that. It is nothing short of amazing. It's literally one of 3 in the United States. And for Marquette to have this kind of a facility, I think speaks well of the vision that we all have in making this not only a learning destination, but a place where people want to come and grow and just become a part of a community. And then finally, I want the students to know that it wasn't lost on us that your announcement about the The start of the winter break vacation was down to the minute. So thank you for letting us know when that begins.
Thank you. Ms. Thomas?
Yeah, echo what Mr. Smith said about our leadership. We're very lucky to have them. And kudos to the school on your can drive success. And I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday break and you're safe and have fun.
Mrs. Maddox Smith?
It's hard to follow all that, but ditto everything these guys said. And yeah, I loved that you guys have it down to the minute when break starts. I love it. But also congratulations on being Marquette County winner for the Canathon. And it's really important that our students are becoming so involved in the community. You know, you're our future leaders, and that's why we're here, is for you guys. So we love that you're here. We love hearing what's going on, and thank you for all you put into it. Thanks to everybody on the team for all of the hard work. These numbers were a lot. I read this whole agenda, 308 pages, and I'm not a finance person, so, you know, I had to look a lot of things up. So I appreciate all the information and how it was disseminated. We have a great team and great leadership. Happy holidays, everybody.
Mrs. Cliff?
Yeah, again, just echoing what everybody else said, but fairly specifically, I just want to highlight the fact that, you know, as it should be, we have a lot of folks in the community who are looking very closely at how money is spent and where money goes. And there's certainly been some challenges that this board and this district have faced over the last, I don't know what we're on now, 24 months in that particular regard. But to have a third party come in with this level of expertise and audit this district, even given sort of the choppy waters with state and federal funding, and find ourselves in the position that we're in, really is a testament to the leadership and, you know, specifically Mr. Lampman, who I know, I've heard and I know because I do happen to live kitty corner across from the man, is burning midnight oil. I don't think the public understands that it is not uncommon for Mr. Lampman to be here at 8 or 9 o'clock at night on a Saturday. So, you know, these are the small victories, and people aren't always great about tooting their own horn, but this is one, man, we went through it, and I feel like we're stronger on the other side of it. So kudos to you, Mr. Lampman, and of course, Superintendent Sedgwick, which goes without saying. And thanks again, ladies, for being here, and I hope that all of you guys have a very fun, but yes, very, very, very safe, good choices holiday.
Mr. Zdunek?
No additional comments, thank you.
I don't really have a lot to say, but having been on this board for 5 years now, it's impressive to just see the leadership that is here, and especially the students that rotate through and all that you all do. It's been an uphill battle for a number of years with COVID and all, and to see where we're sitting here and the fact that we're actually have a bond to present in May is really incredible. I didn't know if that would happen during my tenure on the board, and I'm super excited to be part of that as well. So it's been impressive, and that comes from everybody at this table, but particularly at both ends of the table. So thank you.
Thank you. Board President comments, just echoing what everyone else said. I hope that everyone has a great holiday. Announcements and other meetings, December 10th, 2025, the Bothell Middle School Choral Winter Concert at Kaufman Auditorium at 6:30. December 22nd through January 2nd, 2026, winter break, no school. January 5th, 2026, school resumes. January 12th, 2026, board organizational meeting here in the library at 5:30. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion made by Ms. Thomas, support by Mr. Zedek. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.